Hello and welcome back to the spoiler-free review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Um, we already did our non-spoiler review. You can go check that out if you don't want to be spoiler. So we spoiling everything. We spoiling how Spider-Man, who was it? The Spot goes into the Venom universe. I said, please get out that universe. That's no, yeah. To get out that universe, please. Don't go near that. I'm like, man, because I saw what's her name, Mrs. Chow. I'm not trying to be racist. I think that's her name. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, get
Yeah,
out.
that's
Um, yes. Let's just start it off right here, right now.
The
Into the
banner.
universe.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Wow. Let me hide that for Brian. While let's fix this. Malik, how about you started off? Yeah, let's start off our characters. Who's your favorite characters and stuff like that?
favorite character, Spider Punk. We gonna wait on least favorite, right?
You can do it.
Yeah,
You can
sure.
start off with. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Whatever you want to do it.
Okay, I'm just gonna do Spider Man, Spider Punk, Spider India, least. Not because I didn't like them, just because they didn't really have much to do. Jessica Drew. I didn't like her because she didn't have not much to do. I didn't like what's that character's name?
Hold on a second.
Oh, Ben Riley. Oh, how they? Oh my god.
Oh
They did him dirty,
man!
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh man. Shout out to Adam Sandberg.
Hold up, I love
Damn.
Riley.
They did
That shit
Ben
was
Riley
hilarious.
Wrong. They did. Oh man, how you feel about that, Dante?
Man, all right. So if anyone knows me, I really like the character. I'm more of a fan of his aesthetic, his look. 'Cause that's my favorite Spider-Man suit. I was like, oh man, I can't wait. And man, he was starting to pose. He started acting like all like the characters from Twilight. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And he was just like posing, and he literally flexed on Miles and like
Oh,
had him in a
yeah.
chokehold.
This is what
And I'm like, what? And then and it's funny too, because Gwen she got him out. She snuck up. She did this little Assassin's Creed move, snuck up and send
and he was
him
talking
back.
about walls and stuff. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like, Gwen, you did a big favor. I'm like, man, that's a character that was annoying me. I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was hilarious.
it was
But
funny,
Ben
bro. I
Reilly
just
in
like,
the comics, like he kind of plays that Miguel O'Hara 29/9. He's like a little bit edgy, and like in the comics, he punched little girls in the face. So I mean, like
stop fucking.
I didn't see the point of that, especially when he was barely in the movie, so you didn't barely get a chance to attach to the other characters like that. Like even with Red hates Spider Punk, but at least he got a chance to hate him. So I mean, yeah. So those are my favorite. Oh, Miguel O'Hara's my favorite. It's kind of like I'm kind of have that Iron Man, Captain America feeling about it. I can see both sides on why each one wants to win.
Miguel was right.
Yeah, Miguel was right, but I still like if I was in Miles' shoes, we get.
If I was Miles, I'd be like, my pop's about to die. Can I at least try? He can still die.
Yeah.
he can still die. Can I at least try?
Yeah, I'm gonna say something controversial. I thought Peter B. Parker, who was my favorite. There's always so in movies, mentors. There's always this trope of mentors dying, and so like the mentors had to be like a great example. And Peter B. Parker wasn't that like he was still cool, but Peter B. Parker he didn't have his stuff together, but he was still mentoring Miles, and I like that. And he was and Miles kind of like was like, man, you got to do this and that. And as you see, Peter B. Parker got his life in order. But he was my favorite. He probably was my favorite character in the first one. But in here, I thought Peter B. Parker was kind of a punk. He should have been the name spot because like I understand he was trying to be like both sides. Like, hey, listen, Miguel, don't be like that. Hey, Miles, you gotta listen. He was trying to be the what's the word I'm looking for?
Mediator.
Yeah, he was trying to do that. I understand that, but there was times like, man, you gotta step in and do something, man. That's Miles is your homeboy. You just met Miguel. I thought he met him after the first movie, after the event. So he met them before the events of the first movie.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Gwen and Peter B. Parker, they both knew.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was after the event. And that's what Miles was hurt. Like y'all knew.
That's why he was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. I'm looking at that.
Now it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Um,
But yeah,
uh,
as for favorite characters, I actually really like 2099. He was cool. I like how he was willing to do what needs to be done, even though if it's not like the most understanding thing. I
yeah.
liked Spider-Man India. He was funny. He
Hmm.
was hilarious. I actually liked him a lot more than Spider-Punk. Again, Spider-Punk came off as one of those guys that just tries too hard to be edgy and cool.
Hmm.
He's like so anti-establishment that he becomes establishment upon himself. Like I just
Hmm.
I don't like
Uh,
that.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean those are pretty much all the main characters. The spot was pretty well done too, and I am so glad they did not bring Spider Pig back into this one.
Well, they did for a brief moment.
Yeah, for a
Yeah, but
brief
for a
moment.
brick moment, but it didn't matter
Yeah.
But you don't get a
because
Don't
lot
he's
of
worry,
him.
he's
another
back in the
character.
next one.
You don't get a lot of him
He's
in the
another
next movie.
character that annoys me because
Don't worry, he's back in the
there's
next
a
one. Just so you know.
Yeah,
a
he's gonna be in the
silliness that
next
just
one
gets
for
too
sure.
far.
They got a
I
squad
know.
now.
Yeah, they got a
I know this sucks. But
yeah,
the one person that I did miss from the first movie is Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah,
oh, Nick
I
Cage,
hope
yeah.
Nicolas Cage comes back.
Yep.
Zeke, well, some of your favorite characters in this movie.
Oh gosh, where do I start? I guess I'll name off. I guess I'll name off some of the new characters. My favorite new character easily Spider Punk.
Uh,
I loved his whole, f the establishment. There's a moment where he's holding Peter B. Parker's baby, Mayday, after she's just crapped herself, and he's just like taking a crap on the establishment. I salute you.
That was funny. That was funny.
That was one of my favorite lines of the movie. I liked Ben Riley, and this is coming from someone who is the diehard Ben Riley fanboy. I love the character Ben Riley. I'm one of those guys. I like the Clone Saga. I do. Sorry.
oh no.
Oh, from the animated universe? The animated
Comics,
movie?
the comics, the anime, whatever. I just like the story of the Clone Saga. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. But Ben Riley, for me, I like that they did make him a little bit more just. He was a little bit over dramatic, and that's ultimately what made him what caused him to get defeated was just the fact he's just a little too over dramatic. Miguel was cool. As far as least favorite characters go, I mean, again, I don't really think there's a character in the movie that really. I mean, I guess if I had the one I wish had more to do was his was Miles's roommate.
Oh,
Genki.
Genki.
I thought for the moment he was in, fine, but
Nah, he's just playing Spider-Man 2. Let that man play.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too. He was playing. No, he was playing Spider-Man. He was playing the first Spider-Man. I was like, oh, okay.
No, I think that was
funny.
two because it had the little hub.
Oh, you're probably right.
Yeah, I think they even said it was the second game. So I might.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I just wish he had a little bit more to do. But again, I mean, not really a least favorite character, just someone who I felt like just was their moment. I felt was kind of pointless. Other than him wearing Miles'
Jordans
was really hilarious.
Don't wear Man's J's, man.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. So I'm surprised he didn't get murdered. I thought that was funny too. I saw him playing it. I did learn about that. You're right, Mike. I did learn about that. I was like, I just want to go to Miles Universe so I could play that. Get my hands on that copy, and that's the only reason why we'll go to Miles' universe, and maybe do some things with his mom. But
dang, so you get shot by the police, bro.
But what you call it? I was disappointed we didn't see he probably was in there. Was Spider-Man from the 90s. The 90s. I said, where was he at? I was really happy to see Spectacular Spider-Man, but I was like, where's my boy?
He wasn't there. I didn't see him.
They did. Oh, that was funny too. Cause
that was funny.
That was funny. He said, "Oh, I got a crap." That made me laugh. The Spider-Cat was a menace. I was like, damn, if there's Miguel and that's that Spider-Cat, because he was attacking everybody. He didn't care who he threw the paws at anybody.
That Spider Cat is
honestly,
really formidable in a fight. I'll
that
just say
nigga
that.
Spider Rex, bro.
Um, yeah. And while we talking about
Oh,
animated,
the Spider Cowboy
That
uh,
was
on
that
3
was
draw.
actually interesting. That was actually really
you just said 3. That was funny. Bro, I be having okay. So, I really like that sequence of Miles just running. He is man, drag Miles in the NFL because he
Huh.
was dodging, bobbing, weaving out of everybody at that thing.
He
And
wouldn't pass the drug test.
oh, that part is true. Yeah, well, yeah, that part is
He
true.
didn't pass the drug test.
Like, why your pee so radioactive? Like, why is it glowing?
Yeah, why do I have cancer just looking at piss?
Yeah, it was that was sequence was really good, and I'm like, I like how like people thought like, well, you're not going nowhere, like you don't, because they think he's young and like naive, like you don't know where you're going, and he was planning that too. I thought that was real smart. He's like, yeah, I said, now all your spider people on this train or this bullet train, whatever you want to call it, and then he jumped out, and then I did like I don't like the suit, but that was cool. Like Miguel kind of flew. I do have one question. I don't know too much about Miguel O'Hara. I haven't read a lot of Spider-Man 2099. So he's a vampire?
Kind
No.
of.
Okay, yeah, kind of. He's kind of a vampire. He's just
No, he's
the
not a
spider-
vampire.
He's is basically more mixed with a spider than Peter was.
Yeah,
Okay.
the DNA is more. He's more spider-like than the other
Like
Spider-Man. That's
he's
why he has
Spider-Man
the fangs and the
that
stuff.
I know of that wasn't bit by a spider. His is more from the drug, right?
Experiments, yeah.
Yeah, that when he took that shot, that's when that was from. He didn't get bit by like an actual spider like everybody else. He has like a drug that he takes.
Okay.
That's why
Yeah.
he doesn't have spider sense.
And he
Damn,
also can't
oh,
stick
does
to walls. He has claws instead of that. So his claws can stick to walls, but like he can't.
No, I don't think he does have spider sense. I didn't even see him use it once.
No,
Yeah.
his is like Daredevil. He has like X vision, but like doesn't have.
Well, I feel like if he did have spider sense though,
And I'm
'cause-
saying me personally, if I'm Spider-Man, I ain't
Oh,
I feel like if he did have
me
spider sense,
personally, if I'm a Spider-Man, I ain't taking no orders from a person who don't have spiders.
Hold on a second. Michael, which so you I know you're not doing it on purpose. Restart your laptop and then come back because you kind of lagging, like or refresh it the page.
Like
You kind of lag. Yeah, you lagging a bit.
like you know, a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Also, so I'm just gonna like summarize the plot real quick before we go on. So the spoilers plot, basically it starts off with Gwen Stacy's story. We see how she became Spider, Ghost Spider, I guess is what they call her now. How she became the Ghost Spider of her universe, and Peter Parker in her universe became the Lizard, and he died. Her dad thinks that she killed Peter, but he didn't. She didn't.
mm,
Then she joins the crew of the secret spiders people in that like pocket universe. And we find out that the Spot has been traveling to different universes and using the collider reactor from the first Into the Spider Verse movie to get stronger.
mm,
And then we also find out that the reason Miguel didn't want to invite um, Miles to the secret Spider Society is because Miles, which I completely agree with, is an abomination.
damn.
The spider, the spider that bit him, was part of a different universe, and basically everything that happened in the other universe that was supposed to happen in the other universe didn't happen because Miles got the powers instead. So he shouldn't exist,
mm,
and that's what he's the original anomaly, which is why they didn't want to invite him to the Spider Society, and that Peter B. Parker and Gwen all knew that beforehand, before they went to visit him in the first movie.
mm.
And the movie ends on a cliffhanger. I hated that.
He always gets to come back, just like how Spider-Man Limited. They must have took notes.
Ay, it even ends with a to be continued at the end too.
Yeah. What you call it? The 42, I think is a nod to Jackie Robinson because Miles is wearing a
Yeah.
42 on
I
his
don't
shirt,
even
and
know
I
if I'm
think
still lagging.
no, you good. You good. You good. We can hear you.
I don't know, maybe.
You good. Yeah, everybody can hear Michael.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. Yeah. This in Miles' universe, I just saw read on his
Can y'all hear
Jackie
me?
Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson is a basketball player in Miles' universe. So I thought that was cool. That's why it says 42.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a basketball player. It's like okay. He probably see he would have made it to the finals.
Damn.
But yeah, for his characters, let's talk about the spot for a minute. Yeah, the spot was cool. I like the spot. I've always thought the spot was cool when in the animated universe. I mean, in the animated series, he was real cool. A little tragic what happened to him in that series. Just oh damn. They connected. He's like, you hit me with the bagel. I think they added that like the last part of
Yeah,
the
the
movie.
last minute.
Yeah, that was the plan.
That may have been the case, but I love that connection so much.
I do
laughed.
too.
I laughed so hard when he mentions that he's the scientist that got hit in the head with a bagel. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, it was a complaint, but it was like, yeah, I feel like that, but it was still funny because that was one of my favorite parts. And I like how it said in the first movie. I like how it said instead of saying like kapow, something it literally said bagel when it hit him. That's one of the things I like about it too, with like little things like happens, like when Miles's mom snaps her fingers, the Puerto Rican flag comes up. Thought that was cool.
Hey man, my man Miles grounded for 5 years after.
Yeah,
He gonna be grounded 5 years for after the third movie.
Man, we were talking about that after seeing the movie, man. By the time this trilogy ends, the post credit scene is gonna be him 5 years later, and he's still grounded.
Yeah, that's funny.
That ain't gonna be grounded for getting a B for going to another universe.
Bruh. For saving the universe, you get an extra year, bro.
Yeah, I was like, dang, he got B in Spanish and he could speak Spanish fluently. Like, I was like, dang, that's crazy. But he missed 5 classes, so I guess.
Yeah, he missed like 5 classes.
Yeah,
nah, it was 6. The guidance counselor.
Oh yeah,
it was 6. Yeah.
Guidance counselor a snitch.
Can I talk about that scene for a minute? Because like I really enjoyed that whole moment. One of the things I liked about the first one was the relationship between Miles and his dad. I really loved the interaction between Miles and both of his parents. Everything from when they're talking about his grades to when she finds out he wants to go to New Jersey. That's too far. New Jersey is too far from New York. And just all that I thought was so great. And I even liked it when they were at the party and they were upset that he was late, that he was late and missed his dad's speech. It's just that I love the interaction with his family. I think it really is where a lot of the heart of the film really lies.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, I like the interaction between him and his mom, and you get like a little, story. Little chemistry between him and his parents. That's one of the things I did like about the first one and this movie too. Like, usually when you have a character of a minority, doesn't matter black, Hispanic or Asian, you always like, especially blacks and Hispanic, you always see them in a broken home, like either with a single parent, and with Miles, he lives with both of his parents. I know in the comics it's just his mom, his dad had died, but he lives with both his parents. Both his parents have a good job, and both his parents are together. So he lives in a nuclear home, and you don't really see that in comic book movies or in a movie written for a character of color. So I thought that was good too. I like that. Also,
I'll tell you what, I don't know how much longer his dad's gonna be alive for.
Hey,
I'm placing bets right now. His dad dies at the end of the next movie.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I don't know, man. I don't want to see his dad die though, because I've seen his dad die in the game. I was like, damn, boy was mad too. Yeah, it's crazy because we never really see that bad. To Red, I know Red. This is not a very good movie, but I personally haven't seen a bad adaptation of Miles. The game was good, and these 2 movies is good. So we got that 3rd movie. I was like, all right, don't do no rice.
And
they've set the bar so high.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard they announced a live action movie,
So
but
Miles
Spider-Man
on a
4 is in
roll, bro.
development. That's all I'm saying. But
Miles
Spider-Man 4 is
on a
in development. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, too. Okay. Before I get to the Easter eggs and stuff like that, I really like the opening of this movie. Like Gwen is like playing those drums out. Like I was into it though. I was like, I really like that too. And I said the score. Like when I thought about the score, I think like I was coming home. That score, I just like thought about that scene with Gwen. She has smashed those drums hard.
The
And
Mary Janes.
Yeah, the Mary Jane. Oh yeah, I like that too. I noticed that too. So that's funny. That's funny.
Isn't that like in the comics?
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
it's straight. It's a band, and Mary Jane is like the lead singer.
Mm. So yeah, I like that too. There was some Easter eggs. I know there's like 1,000 plus Easter eggs in this movie.
Yeah.
Hey,
Another
hold on.
one-
Before we get to the Easter eggs, we didn't even get to my favorite characters.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who?
Spider Punk. I loved him.
Mm.
Oh, I love a good anti-establishment character. A little controversial here. My least favorite was Miguel, and I love 2099.
Mm.
I don't know. For me, I was just like sitting there. I was like, I know, like me and Miguel in this movie has a love and hate Miguel. I think he was such a good antagonist. I literally was like, man, fuck Miguel in the movie theater. Because he's not the villain. He's the antagonist to the story.
Yeah.
What he's the one, like, because he's seen it play out. I don't know if y'all hit this point. I think I was over there resetting my laptop. He's seen it happen in Peter B's universe because he's the one that causes it. So I know that's where he comes from. It's just the fact that how he said it and how he did it. I sat there. I was like, man, fuck Miguel. It's because he's black, isn't it? It's because he's black and Puerto Rican, huh?
No, not well. To be fair, I don't think it's because black. He has Jessica Drew on his side.
I know that.
Yeah,
but
that's the second
I know
command.
that. But that was like the little joke. Like in the trailer though, I was like,
yeah.
black.
In the trailer, they were going after him on my mom. He probably took his mask off. They were running after him like, yeah. He didn't say get that Spider-Man. He said something else, but you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Miguel used that hard R in the trailer.
Yeah.
I know he did. But I get where he came from. It was just more like, damn, Miguel, man, fuck you.
Yeah, I like Miguel a lot too, because I felt like he was a threat. Because like I noticed, I saw on Twitter that somebody made a compare and contrast. Like in the end credit of the first one, Spider-Man 2099 or Miguel, he looked a bit like he looked slim. Like he looked like he went to the gym.
Yo, he been working out.
Yeah, he was working out. And this one was like a menace. And just look at him.
I love Gwen Stacy in this movie.
I do too, man.
I love her. I love her
cute.
universe. I love the animation of her universe. I kind of touched on her animation. It kind of looked like, depending on her moods, the color changed for the universe. That's one of the things I loved. I love her when they introduced her. Like as you said, she was banging on them drums. I even like the Vulture that was in her universe.
Yeah, that was
Shakespearean Vulture.
That was really
That's one of my complaints right there because that like medieval art style did not mesh well with her universe.
Yeah, because he wasn't from her universe.
It wasn't from there, but it didn't mesh well.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the point, but it was like kind of distracting.
So this movie reminded me of a lot of a cartoon show I did not like, but I'm starting to like it. I like it when it's well done. And it's called Amazing World of Gumball. This reminded me a lot of that.
You didn't like Gumball?
I didn't like Gumball.
I was never a fan of it either.
Yeah, and it did that like different characters. If anyone has seen it, it's like characters are at different animations. Like they have a stop motion character that have a 2D. It's wild. So that's what they did too, and the hair and I did like the Vulture, how he was a Renaissance man. I was like, oh, that's creative. That was cool. Because it wasn't a her Vulture. I was like, I wonder what her Vulture looks like. And it wasn't too many Spider-Man classic villains. There was only two. There was the Spot and the Vulture. Yeah.
Prowler.
And the Prowler, yes.
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard Miles. That's what I'm calling him.
Kawhi Leonard Miles. No, I didn't see Kawhi Leonard.
I'm calling him Kawhi Leonard Miles
because of the braids.
No, I know that, but I was like, I think they were going after Swat Lee. braids.
Oh, Sway Lee.
Sway Lee,
Man.
yeah. I
Well,
like
he-
how.
But
Well, that
that's
version of Miles,
500.
that version of Miles definitely has way more of the Puerto Rican accent because
Yeah,
he
I
sounded really cool.
he did. I wonder who voices him too.
I
Probably
actually
the
don't
same
know.
guy. It's probably the same guy, just a different. He's just doing a different accent.
Accent. Mhm.
Yeah. I did like that. I also liked just quickly. I like how they go to the Lego Spider-Man.
Yo, that was hilarious.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
Hey, remember, he's the best Spider-Man. He's one of the best.
Yes.
Mhm.
Miguel said it.
Yeah.
I just loved when he's first introduced and he goes in the bathroom and the first thing he says before he transforms into Spider-Man is, "Man, I don't get paid enough for this."
Oh, but can we all like just talk about how J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson in every
Yeah.
fucking universe?
Every,
That's
Yeah.
a canon
every
event.
universe.
That's a
Yeah.
canon event, guys.
That's fun. Yeah, I like that too. I was like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I was like, yeah, just have him voice Jonah Jameson or be J. Jonah Jameson to the day he dies.
You know,
Uh,
we see all these different Loki variants in the Loki TV show. I want an entire Disney Plus special where we see all the J. Jonah Jameson variants.
Just a bunch of people yelling, bro. That's what it is.
What, you know Spider-Man? That menace? Yeah,
That
he's a
menace.
menace.
You gotta have the J. Jonah Jameson from the '90s though, because that was a straight dog, right?
that dude was he's my favorite. I love that cartoon. We gotta talk about that one day. Man, I love that. We should talk about it when the Spider-Man 2 comes out, the video game. But yes, I like that too. Let's be honest, the Lego Spider-Man would have caught Miles probably. You probably would have
Yeah.
caught him. You probably
Yeah.
would have caught him.
Hey, Lego Batman. Hey, Lego Batman's the best.
Yeah, yeah. What else? In this movie that I like a lot. Let's talk about Hobie for a minute. Hobie, who's voiced by Daniel Kaluuya. I like Hobie a lot because I thought too he was gonna be that character of like Red. I was like, I need to introduce a love triangle. This is gonna be stupid because he's like, what I said, a non-spoiler. He's like, oh, Gwen, you left your toothbrush. I was like,
Mhm.
oh shit.
Nah, he doesn't even need to because he already smashed.
Yeah, I was
He probably did.
Yeah.
Dang.
Boy, I said, damn, she missed Miles. I was like, well, you Miles, you went there.
I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Like,
Yeah.
And she's staying over at his house, borrowing his
Yeah.
shoes, leaving her sweater there.
Not yeah. She didn't stay over his house. She stayed in his dimension. I was like, damn. Yeah. She probably would have been like, they talk about it and everything. You know, Miles forgive her, like, you know, Gwen, I forgive you for everything. But it's like you and Hobie said, you know, Miles, I thought about you every day. I still love you. Said, nah, bro. Said she from the streets. She from the. Yeah, I said, damn. I said, yeah, she from the. I said, leave her ass in her dimension, Miles. You know. But who? I like Hobie because yeah, I was like, oh man, he's just doing too much. He's trying to be the. Because everybody, he was like everybody liked the. I was like, I'm personally not liking it. And then he was. He was giving Miles advice too because like while that whole conversation of when Miles was like in that bubble, he did his hand thing and Miles did it too and Hobie was proud of him. I said okay, I like that and Hobie was helping her out too and I like his watch too. His watch, even though it was a homemade one, I like this watch out of everybody.
Yeah, that watch looked pretty dope.
Yeah, that was that was cool.
Hobie,
And let's talk about how cute Mayday is. Mayday's fucking adorable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I loved how she had her own little
Web
knitted
shooters.
Spider-Man
Oh yeah.
mask.
Yeah,
And
And
every time they go out or about to chase Peter B. Parker just puts it on her.
And I loved when Peter B. Parker goes back to his universe and MJ's like, did you take our baby out? And he goes, no, because you told me not to.
And
Like
I'm
that
being
interaction-
irresponsible.
or what does he say when Gwen shows up? He whispers to Mayday, he's like, don't tell mom. That I thought that was great too.
Malik, what you about to say? You were about to say something.
I was just going to talk about Hobby. I thought Hobby. I would say he's a better Spider-Man than like he was like my Spider-Man Noir from Into the Spider-Verse. I thought Into the Spider-Verse he was my favorite Spider-Man Noir in that movie. I just felt yeah, I like the different animation styles because sometimes he's black and white, but then when he walks into a certain light, he's actually how he appears with the red and blue, and then all the bandages and stuff like that. I just like how they really. I think they actually took their time to actually think this character out, and I really like that. And still, like we talked about, I still don't know how he was able to give that watch to Gwen when he took it off and threw it off. But maybe he had an extra one. Maybe he
Yeah,
was like, oh man,
I
I
mean,
lost
he
it.
probably built his own.
yeah, because he's a what you call it,
So he's
rebel.
that smart to build another one.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
he is Spider Man. I
he,
mean, there. Yeah,
he is a Spider-Man. I mean, Peter
Not
Parker
all Spider-Man are
has an
smart.
IQ of like
We talk about Toby
200.
all day. We can talk about Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is not as smart as Toby or Tom Holland's.
yeah. He was in this movie too. So give. Well, oh yeah, too. That's a joke too. He said called him Garfield. What was Santa Garfield? Well, was that a reference to Andrew Garfield Spider Man? I didn't get that joke.
No,
Remember?
Blue Garfield. She called him
Blue
that.
Garfield.
Yeah. Whoa. I understand that joke. Was that a reference to Andrew Garfield?
No,
I
I
actually
think
don't
it's
know.
cool.
I think he was
Yeah.
just making fun of his costume.
Because she said Blue Panther, so
But there was a reference to the MCU, that fucking nerd Doctor Strange in
yeah.
on Earth 19999.
and Donald Glover.
Donald Glover as
Donald
Prowler.
Glover, that was crazy.
I also
That-
like how they
How
had
did
the.
they
Oh,
catch him?
It's funny because that I feel like gets the biggest reaction. Like in the two times that I've seen it, it seems like Donald Glover's gets the biggest reaction. You know, because everyone's just so surprised to see him.
Yeah.
I just want to know how they caught him.
Yeah. Who
That's what
caught him though?
I would see a
Spider?
movie about
Spider
this.
Punk
How
caught
they
him.
caught up.
Oh.
It was Lego Spider Man, bro.
Oh,
He caught him. He's one of the
he got
best.
caught slipping, man.
He
Oh,
got
and-
caught playing with
but
Legos.
My biggest reaction was when they had Spectacular Spider-Man there, and
Yeah.
I
that was
was-
when
yeah.
the Insomniac PS4 Spider-Man.
And he was short as hell. I was like, damn, bro, you short as hell, bro.
But I like how they like kept his animation style, but added a little more 3D to it as well.
Mm,
I gotta talk a little bit about this because, like I mentioned before, Spectacular Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man cartoon of all time, like
Hey.
hands down.
All right, but before you start, Gwen or Liz?
Oh God! Oh God!
Damn, we talked about this, man. We talked.
I gotta
Talk
go.
about this again, Malik. Liz.
I gotta go.
Gwen.
I gotta go with
We're
Gwen.
going Gwen. Hey,
I
yes.
never bought into him and Liz's relationship. Never bought into that at all. If anything, I think Liz was just using his brain. But whatever.
Probably could give good brain.
Yeah. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
But no, I like that show is my favorite Spider-Man show. And as soon as they went to the Spider Society, all I kept saying to myself was, I was just looking for him. I was waiting to see where he was gonna show up at. And when he shows up, and not only does he show up, but he has lines. He's got dialogue.
Mhm.
I called it,
And-
guys. I called it, by the way.
Michael can attest. He was sitting right next to me. I screamed. I had the loudest reaction to that. It was almost like there was a little girl in the theater, but it came out of this 23-year-old man sitting in the front row. I lost my mind. Like, and for me, there's a couple things in this movie that they referenced with Spectacular Spider-Man that almost give me hope that we could see a season 3, because not only do they have him speak, but they also reference his Captain Stacy moment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Captain Stacy died in Spectacular
Oh,
Spider-Man.
No, that wasn't Captain Stacy. That was Uncle Ben, because Tobey Maguire's Uncle Ben showed up and he's right before.
Well, yeah, they showed his Uncle Ben moment, but then they showed him.
They had a Captain Stacy too.
Yeah, they had a hologram of him leaning over Captain Stacy.
Wait, when they show that line? When they show
Yeah.
that line? Oh, okay.
So, but again, from what I remember, I don't think Captain Stacy died at the end of
No.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
No,
So that makes me think that something might have happened after season 2. That you know.
Yeah, that's probably some like a deleted scene somewhere, or like unscrapped or concept art.
I really do hope they bring a season.
Or
3,
an
though.
idea for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, basically the reason why Miguel doesn't want Miles is to exist because he's an anomaly is because if they break the canon, that destroys the entire universe. Like that's what Miles did in the Spider-Man India universe, where his version of Captain Stacy was supposed to die, but Miles ended up saving him, and then like this big spot showed up in the bottom of the universe, started destroying everything.
Let's take a minute to talk about that scene. That when he popped into the Indian universe, Spider-Man India. I really liked that. That was really good, and that was very heartfelt. Because Gwen, I'm thinking at first Gwen did like one Miles to get hurt and everything. But I was like, well, let him do his thing because he been saving everything. It's like, oh, that's why, because he was supposed to. And she and he saved the captain, and I think Peter, the Indian Peter Parker. I don't know how to pronounce his name. That's why I keep saying Indian. And he saved him. Saved Captain. I think Indian Peter Parker. I was like, okay, I appreciate you more. I know this wasn't supposed to happen. This was supposed to happen, but I think he appreciated it more, and I like that aspect of it too. Of that. So and I liked how he showed up at the end with the band. I like how I rather be called the band than the team because I feel like they would be a great band. Towards the end, we talk about the ending later. I liked about that.
I like to call them the A team. That's the Spider-Man A team.
The Spider-Man A team. Okay. I feel that. Yeah, I would like that scene. What y'all think about that scene?
That was
they brought Spider-Man Noir back.
They did. They did. They brought the old team from the original. They got they got Spider Bite too.
They brought the Spider Bite too. Yeah. Which I didn't understand because that short amount of time they were together, how could she have some sort of respect for him?
Because I think Miles was a rebel and he's like, I'm not cool with this kind of stuff. I want to go out and save my dad. I think that's the reason why she respected him.
I think there's this because I have a theory that in the next film I think all of the Spider people are gonna agree with Miles and think that Miguel's just going about this the wrong way. Because even Jessica Drew has a couple moments where when she's looking at Miguel like,
yeah, she's judging him.
Like, I don't know if I agree with what you're doing here, you know. And I feel like Spider-Bite was one of the first characters to kind of, well, I mean, I guess Spider-Punk, but
yeah, Spider-Punk. I think Spider-Punk was the first one to be like, man, I don't really
yeah, but
I feel like that fits with his MO though. Anti-authority. Miguel's like,
I think he was just going along with it, to be honest, because he was like taking stuff off the wall and stuff like that. So I think he was just going along with it, see where it goes.
Yeah, well, Spider-Punk made the first move by helping Miles escape. And then I feel like Spider-Bite started to really understand why Miles would go to these lengths to save his dad. Yeah, and then that's what kind of motivated her to want to join Gwen's cause.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I mean, like, my theory to like kind of like it's kind of like Zeke's. It's a reason why I don't think Miles' dad is gonna die, because I think what I think is gonna happen is Miles successfully saves his dad, and that's when and you know, since the anomaly is gonna happen, I think that's why I think Miguel is gonna try to do something to Miles' dad, and then that's when all the Spider people attack him. Because I feel like Miguel's gonna get so stuck, like, no, I have to save this universe, and you're about to fucking cause an anomaly. Like, this has to happen. And I
don't think that Miguel's gonna be the only one who. I think it's gonna be like a civil war type of thing. There's gonna be people on Miles' side. There's gonna be people on Miguel's side.
Ben Reilly will probably be on Miguel's.
Yeah. Because what Gwen did to him, he's gonna. I need payback.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let's totally be honest. There's a reason. Hey, if you found out that you was a clone after you thought you was the real Peter Parker, you'd probably be that depressed and edgy too.
Yeah.
They still haven't introduced other Spider characters too, so
I'm a big
Assassin Spider-Man
might be in there. By the way,
Assassin Spider-Man, they haven't introduced him yet. I think Assassin Spider-Man might be on Miguel's side.
Who's Spider-Man?
Assassin Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that actually kills, right? That's the one.
Yeah, that's the Spider-Man who kills because in his universe, when Gwen dies, he says, "All right, I can't take no more prisoners." So and he trains with Wolverine, and then he got guns attached to his web shooters. Like it's like fucking.
He's actually a pretty cool. He's a pretty cool version of Spider-Man. Pretty cool.
He's really cool.
No, man, I need that superior Spider-Man. Where he at?
You gonna get him too?
All right, so I'm so if this happens in the third movie, I like you guys' theories, Michael and Malik, but so for the Civil War, but if the '90s Spider-Man is on Miguel's side, I'm like this movie is a 2 out of 10. I'm gonna be mad as hell. Shocker! I hope they put that in the game. They probably didn't.
I hope they put that in the game too.
Okay. Not to get sidetracked. When I was a kid, I have never seen a villain or a bad guy get more shook than that. Like I was like, damn, that's overacting. But to me, I was like, man, bravo to that voice actor. But again, we didn't see the '90s Spider-Man. I'm like, man, where he probably was in it, but we didn't see him.
I think he's gonna be in the third.
It's gonna be like a spectacular Spider-Man. It's gonna be like a small cameo.
Okay. The writers, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, did say in an interview that there are some Spider people that they held back for this film that they are introducing in the next one.
Okay.
So if I were to say there's a chance you might see him in the next one. But I think with that comment, I think we're getting Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield in the next one. Guaranteed.
They're all on Miles' side, by the way. So
I agree. I think they're all going to be on Miles' side.
Mm-hmm. You think you will see a black suited Spider-Man in the next one?
No. The only black suited Spider-Man I want to see is Agent Venom. That's all I want to see.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually like Agent Venom a lot. I like how it's Flash Thompson too.
Yeah, and Flash Thompson. You got I gotta see Silk too.
Yeah. No. This is a kids movie.
Oh.
This is a kids movie. This is not.
Hey, kids gotta grow up sometime.
Man.
Be having a field day with all the Spider-Man.
Hey man, take your ass out of here, man. This is not his movie.
Hey, okay, not this movie for the adult to leave.
There was
a PG. We meant R.
Nah, there was a one Easter egg. I was like, bro, that's the deep cut because I used to watch the show when I was younger too. Like I watched every Spider-Man cartoon there is. There was there's two. I'm like, I don't know if those are good, but there was one. There's Spider-Man: The Amazing Friends video game guy. That I said I remember that because that was a villain in one of the episodes.
I was thinking about where I saw him from. That's where I saw that nigga from.
I saw that recently because I was trying to catch up. I was trying to like, okay, just in case it's Easter eggs. I was doing some research. There was two Spider-Man. I'm glad. Okay, I don't really hate this cartoon. This is very very out there. Was the Spider-Man movie? I mean, the Spider-Man series. That's the 3D one that came in the early 2000s.
The one on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, they better bring him back.
Bring back every Spider-Man except for Ultimate Spider-Man. Nobody asked for that.
Yeah, nobody likes that one.
Nobody Spider-Man.
No one's gonna want to work. No one's really gonna want to work with Drake Bell, so I think we're good. So
yeah. So, but yeah, bring back every Spider-Man. Except for that one. That's the one.
I would introduce more other versions of Miles.
Nah.
I want to see the live action Spider-Man from the 1970s TV show, the one that had the cheap Party City.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, we didn't see Japanese Spider-Man either.
Nah, and they say he was supposed to be in there, so I think he's supposed to be in the third.
Yeah, they made it. I remember when they like shortly after the first one, Spider-Verse came out, they announced the Japanese Spider-Man. I said, oh, okay. Then they started announcing like Jessica Drew, a Spider-Woman. I was like, okay.
I think that goes back to the point I made earlier. I think they're holding characters like that back for the third film.
Okay, for sure.
And they better bring his robot too.
his Zord. Also too, I like the voice acting too. I'm a big person who likes voice acting. The voice acting is great, especially with like I said, Daniel Kaluuya as Spider-Punk was great. I liked him a lot. I like Shamik more Bro, there's this interview with Shamik Moore, him and Haley Steinfeld, who damn, Haley
Like they
Steinfeld
didn't
look
even
good.
know each other until like after the first one, right? You talking about that interview?
No, I'm talking about Shamik Moore. I think he was high in this interview, bro. I gotta send you guys this interview, bro. He looked shook.
Oh,
like
you have to send me that interview. I never seen that one.
It was funny as hell too. I was laughing because he's like one of the guys. I think it was IGN, Red's favorite media outlet, and they showed him a picture or something, and like I was talking about, and he's going like it was funny. But yeah, Shamik Moore does a great job. Haley Steinfeld as Spider-Gwen. What's it called? I don't know the voice actress, the actress name who does Miles' mom, but Brian Paperboy from Atlanta does Miles' dad, Captain Davis now.
Brian Tyree Henry, yeah,
Brian Tyree Henry, who's really good too. Who's really good actor. And his homeboy too from Atlanta, Donald Glover's in here. But let's talk about the twist too. Let's talk about the twist for a minute. I didn't see that twist coming. I didn't see that twist coming. I was like, oh damn. Because
honestly, I did see it coming because the room was different when he showed up.
Oh, okay. I
said that too. I said that too. I was like, and that was like one of the things I touched on Zeke's podcast. I was like one of the small little plot holes. I was like, Miles, how you not know this room is different?
Yeah, I would have noticed my difference. I said I do not have a Superman poster in my room. I would have noticed if I was somewhere, if I was in a different universe. I'm like, I need to go back home.
That'd be the first thing you see.
Damn well, there's a Superman poster in my room. I'm having a fit.
Yeah,
me and my variants fighting.
I wonder how this nigga. I wonder how he feels about Henry Cavill being recast.
Yeah. I was like, man, we gotta go some. I said, yeah, me and my variant ain't gonna get along. It was the first time I noticed. Like, what did you do with your hair? And I'm like, it's the same length. Like, I was like, what's she talking about? And then when Gwen starts to like, so I was like, oh wait, is she like, did she go to the wrong house? I'm thinking like, oh, she back at Hobie's house. Like, I don't know. What's happening?
She can't even get another
and then he said, okay, Aaron. I thought, okay, Aaron was smashing my boss's mom for me. My hand was going to different places. I thought they were together. I really thought they were together. And he slides us some money. And I was like, oh, okay. He said, let's go. He said you undid your braids. I'm like, what? I said, oh shit. He's like, yeah. So he's in a different universe. And then he gets.
You didn't get that from Spider-Man when he came out. He's like, I'm Spider-Man. Who the fuck is Spider-Man?
I thought that was a joke. Like she hasn't been paying attention to the news. Like I thought that was a joke at first. Cause I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine. But yeah, she didn't know, and he was like, he was confused. I was confused. It took me a minute. I was a little bit slow right now when that twist was happening. Because when twist happens, I'm a little bit like I'm a little slow on the catch up. So yeah, and then he gets the shit punched out of him.
He got rocked.
I was like, that was some Adonis Creed.
I was like, Miles, why didn't that spider sense kick in?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's spider sense kicks off in it. Like, I was like, yeah. Sometimes the spider sense in movies,
it's here and there, bro.
Yeah, it's here and there.
No, that's even like in the comics though, because I be sitting there like, really, you got hit by that?
Yeah.
Like they write Spidey sense as like it activates when they want it to activate.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, that twist was. I like that twist a lot. How you guys feel? I'm Red. You say you saw it coming.
Yeah, because as soon as I actually thought that that's where they were going to go with it when they announced that his spider was one from a different universe.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because I've seen way too many comic book movies, like the DC version, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first when that's what came to mind when they said that the spider was from a different universe and that Miles is an abomination, which I agree.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Not an abomination. They say he's an anomaly.
Same difference. Same difference.
Damn, I said about my boy Miles is abomination, man. Miles has grown on me, man. It's like I said, that video game is good, and his movies are good too. So Miles is across the board. I
just hope that. Oh, go on.
I wasn't really a fan of Miles Morales before I saw the movie, and then I saw the movie and I became a fan. And I've loved the portrayal of him in like the video games and all that stuff. And even there was one episode of like Ultimate Spider-Man where he was okay, but again, that show is just pure garbage altogether.
Garbage.
To Drake Bell.
Um, but yeah, no, I think Miles as a character has really grown on me over the years. So
I even think his comic run right now is
Yeah,
doing
his comic
pretty
run
good
is getting his comics are
because I
getting way
know
better. Like
I haven't like kept up with the new run, but I heard some shit about the new Peter Parker run. And I heard that one is trash.
Yeah, I heard some things.
And I've heard some things.
Yeah, tell me about it.
ooh,
First
shit.
of all, I want
They
to
got a
start
bunch
off
of
by
people who
that new
can't
comic
write.
book run by Fuck Mary Jane, but
Damn.
Damn. See, Zeke, I knew you'd be cool because you said Ultimate Spider-Man is garbage. I heard some people say I like Ultimate Spider-Man. I said, bro, go. The only thing I like about Ultimate Spider-Man is the villain's design. That's the only reason. That's the only thing I like about.
I like the Deadpool episode. That's the only.
Well,
That's the only episode
I
like.
remember when that show was premiering. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I like Spider-Man cartoons, so I'll give it a shot. And then a few episodes into it, I remember watching it, going, "This is what we lost. This is why we lost Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, I had the exact same feeling,
We lost."
exact same moment when they started putting those little mini spider cartoons.
And I said, really, Disney? This is the show that you're replacing Spectacular Spider-Man with? Like that? That just it's. I still have never gotten over it.
Mickey Mouse looked at you. He said, "Yes, this is what you're getting."
The mouse hates me. Apparently, the mouse hates
The
me.
mouse hates everybody. No worries, man.
Not to get sidetracked, but when they
Mhm.
introduced, I'm gonna go back to the movie. But once they introduced it was in here too. The Spider car, Spider Parker, Spider Park. I don't know.
Oh, that was funny too.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm like in Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm like, why does Spider-Man need a car? I just thought that was always stupid. I thought that was
Well,
always
you know,
stupid. And he was
in another universe, there's a spider car.
yeah, I mean, I like the Spider car over here, but yeah, that was cool, fun. That's funny too. Like I said, that cat was a menace, and
Was that the cat from the PS4 game?
that's what I was gonna ask too. Was that
Man, they should recruited him.
Yeah,
Put him on the team.
Well,
yeah.
To go against that cat if it's 8.
I mean,
Have a cat fight.
there's a whole bunch of different Spider-Man we saw in that middle portion of the movie. I was talking with Michael, like they showed one of the Spider-Man that we saw was from that little short video they put up with Andrew Garfield. You guys ever see this one where it's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man standing?
Oh,
They had
Yeah, that design. It was like a water
exactly.
Water commercial. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's,
They had that little Spider-Man in the lineup. He was chasing Miles. And I'm just like, I cannot think of what the name of that Spider-Man is though. But I'm like, I saw him and I went, oh, it's it's him. And I'm like, but then my mind started thinking, okay, what's he gonna do? Like, like
Did they have my boy Spider Rex?
yeah, he's not gonna catch up to Miles. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that was fun. I remember that commercial too. I like that commercial because yeah, with that marketing for Amazing Spider-Man 2 was good. I just didn't like that movie.
It was good, but it led to ultimate disappointment.
Yes, very.
It led to the green herpes.
The green herpes.
He did. Is there anything else we've you covered everything?
Did we
I
talk
think we
about
got
Kawhi?
everything.
Yeah. Okay, since let's end off. Okay, I know we said our predictions. Let's do a quick prediction. So, Mike, I'm gonna let you go first, Michael. So you think Miguel is gonna go like too far?
I think he's going to attempt to go too far. Like I said, I don't think I think Miles this season saving his dad, and I think they capture Spot or something happens to Spot where they immobilize him or something. But I think that since he's trying to stop the anomaly, he doesn't want to happen. I think Miguel's going to try to go too far. That's when all the Spider-Man are going to try to stop him, or the Civil War happens. One of those things. But I think that's what happens.
Okay.
Because I think that it's going to end because I don't want to see Miles' dad die right now. So I think Miles' dad lives for me. That's what I want.
Malik,
I think they might introduce a group of people other villains, the Inheritors. They play a big part in the Spider Verse in the comics. They go around the universe killing Spider-Man. I think they're gonna introduce at least one or two of the Inheritors. I do think Miles' dad is going to die. Like I said, I think he's going to at least try to save him, and he's still going to die anyway. And I think there's going to be like a big speech at the end. I, mm, I think he's going to stop because they still haven't introduced Gabriel O'Hara, who's Miguel O'Hara's brother. They haven't introduced him yet. They haven't. Like he's like in the comics, he's like his piece. Like he calms him down when he goes on tangents. So they haven't introduced Gabriel yet. Um, I just hope it's good. I hope they introduce the characters that I want in this one. But it doesn't matter. I think it's gonna be good regardless.
I mean, let's not tell Red that it might be good. It might drop down to a 3 out of 10.
So,
yeah. Red, what's your predictions on the next one?
All right, predictions. I think that Miles' daddy is going to die. Either that, or they might pull a death of Gwen Stacy again. Who knows? But what I really want to happen is I want them to whittle down the universes to a couple, maybe like 3, 4, 5.
Mm.
Maybe use the anomalies as a way to bring the Spider Verse back down to a manageable level, so you don't have like a thousand different spider people from different dimensions, where you just have only like uh the Peter Parker. I guess Miles kind of has to stay now or whatever. Gwen and 2099.
Okay.
Also, it's just another thing I don't like about Miles is what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to make him the new mainstream Spider-Man and make Peter Parker like the forgotten older version.
No,
I don't think
yeah,
that.
Yeah, I'm a respectfully disagree.
Disagree.
I'm
You
respectfully
don't think
disagree.
so?
I think Miles, you can have both because you got look at Tom Holland. I think people are still showing like respect. But I was like, here, this is this Spider-Man, and you have this also new Spider-Man. You can take whatever you want. It's kind of like I know it's a little bit different, because it's not like a legacy character. It's like you have Hal Jordan, you have John Stewart.
Hal Jordan's not even the original Green Lantern.
Yeah, he's not even the original Green Lantern. Yeah,
but the original Green Lantern has nothing to do with the Hal Jordan
or anything like that.
It's still not like the original.
Yeah, so I know each Green Lantern is like their own. It's not like the Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man are like a variations. There's no variant for the Green Lantern. It's kind of like they're cops. So, but like I feel like okay, we're not trying to forget Hal Jordan. We were here as like we're gonna show you like this other version of Green Lantern. I think that's what they're doing with Miles. I think Miles is kind of like they're John Stewart, and you still have Peter Parker, that Hal Jordan. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I feel like that is in the comics. Because Miles is in the main universe right now, and it's not like he's like overtaking Peter's spot. He's just doing his own shit.
Yeah,
and you got Peter.
Yeah.
I think you got Tom Holland Spider-Man. They're talking about doing Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, making a movie about that, and they're also talking about bringing Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. So I think Peter Parker still has a shot in live action. I don't know about comics, but I'm definitely gonna have him in a video game. He's gonna be the head of. He's gonna get more shine than Miles in the video game.
I hope so.
I think in the comics, bro. I think like let's give Peter a break.
Miles got to run right now.
Let's give Peter after this.
I don't know what they're doing with Peter Parker in the comics, man. Like
after
there's making Mary Jane get a new boyfriend.
Let's let Peter be like, hey Miles, I'm about to go find myself after this whole Mary Jane shit that just went down. I'm about to travel the world. You take over for now. I'll take it back when I get back. You know, he don't have to die off, but let him like experience like some other short.
So Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that Peter's gonna be pulling a Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? He's gonna go find.
Oh my god!
You don't know what I heard of those comics, man. That man's getting cucked by Mary Jane and this nigga with glasses.
Yeah, it's a self-insert.
Yeah, I don't think Peter. Nobody. You can never fade away.
First of
the
all,
OG
let's
Spider-Man.
be real. Hammy Reyes replaced the other Blue Beetle completely.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, for me, I'm okay with having all these different variations of Spider-Man. In fact, I've always made the argument. I've hated the idea of Sony taking these Spider-Man villains and turning them into anti-heroes. I've always thought the best way to have your cinematic universe is to connect it through this Spider-Verse. Like maybe have a Peter Parker standalone film, then you do a Miles Morales film, Gwen Stacy film, and then you do like Jessica Drew's movie, and then you bring them together for a big Spider-Verse crossover. You know, that's how I've always felt they should have run their cinematic universe, because I like what they're doing with the animated stuff. I love what they're doing with bringing all these different iterations of Spider-Man together while still being able to tell a story that feels unique and that feels different than what we've seen before, because it had both of these animated films had the potential of being super cliche and super just like kind of dull, much like most comic book movies have become today. But I think you have two people who are just diehard fans of this material that are treating it with such respect. I think that's kind of the direction you need to go. You got to get somebody who really cares about the material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually,
She-Hulk.
Zeke, Zeke, you remember what I told you? I don't know if we did it on your live reactions after the movie or when we was talking about during the movie. This movie, to me, well, the animated stuff proves that when Sony wants to try,
They try.
they try. Because I don't know what the fuck was Morbius. They didn't try.
I don't know.
But
I think we talked about that after we had recorded. You and I were having a conversation in the parking lot. Like, it seems like with their animated movies, they seem like they're actually trying. And again,
they seem like they want money.
It goes back to you got to get the right people involved. With their live action films, they're hiring like newbie directors to do all these films. I say like you gotta like with your like I would say the next Venom movie should have been directed by like a James Wan who directed The Conjuring. Like I think that would have been. I think James Wan doing The Conjuring would have been something. Doing Venom would have been something real cool. You know.
Yeah,
but I feel like with their they're picking these younger directors who they can kind of bully around and say, no, we want our films to be this, not this, because that's what happened with Morbius. I feel like Morbius was a movie that was set to be one way and was changed completely in the editing.
Yeah.
I think that happens with it happened with Spider-Man 3. You had a seasoned director, Sam Raimi, and studios come in trying to change it to something else. Same thing with what's his name, Zack Snyder. They saw what he did with Batman vs Superman. He had something even darker with Justice League, but and then the studio came in and do their thing. But I think when it comes to new directors, like you said, new directors with the MCU, they had new directors, but they had
more freedom.
You got to stick into the bounds of what we are doing here. I think if you
plan.
set boundaries and you said, okay, this has to connect to this. Like I think that's what's going on with these movies. In Phase 4, none of these movies actually connect to anything. None of this is multiverse. Like I said previously, Thor 4 is nothing. You told a story about Gore the God Butcher, which if you read his comic, that's nothing but multiverse. And you didn't introduce any of those, so it's kind of like an imbalance. So if you have young directors, you have to have an actual plan. And you have to stick into the bounds of what this is.
And you just and it's like I said, you just got to focus on telling a good story. Yeah. You know, a lot of these superhero films nowadays focus more on the spectacle, and I feel like something that Across the Spider-Verse does is they give you the spectacle, but they focus a lot on character. Like, I'm sorry, but that scene where just going back to the movie real quick, that scene where Gwen Stacy's father is arresting her in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
That was
that hit.
that scene broke my heart. I was like, I almost went into tears in that scene. So it's like the fact that you can get that kind of an emotion, that just proves that audiences don't want to see they don't just come to these movies for the spectacle. They also come because they want to
feel a deep connection with the character.
They want to connect with these characters.
Mm-hmm. And I want to shout out to Shea Wiggum, who played George Stacy. Shout out to him, because I think that was one of my most underrated characters in this movie. Well, not most. I think he's gonna be underrated, but I think he was like the one that made it, because that end scene when they actually come together, George, Stacy, and Gwen, and they actually come together and come to, I guess, a compromise. I guess you can say. But these movies are based on. This movie was based on sacrifice. The first movie was based on family. It's the whole theme of sacrifice. You see it throughout Andrew Garfield's George Stacy, his version. It's all about sacrifice in this movie. Like, what are you willing to give up? And that's why they want to keep Miles there, because he has to sacrifice his dad dying. So they when they hit the themes of these movies, they really like they have when they set a theme, they really attack it really well.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention that was it. That was heartbreaking. It's like her dad, like you saw in his eyes, he didn't really want to, but it's like, damn, I got to.
Read her Miranda rights.
Yeah, and then he was like, damn, her dad really turned to the ops in that scene. Like, damn,
her dad is the ops.
Yeah. So, so that was heartbreaking. But I'm glad they made up at the end and they hugged and stuff like that. And man, I was like, man,
and then, well, I even liked it when Miles is going around saying, like, you what, but your dad's the chief of police and you're just okay with it happening, and you see her reaction, she's just like, yeah. And I'm just like, dang, that she's just okay with her, like. And again, it goes back to that opening scene that, she feels like her dad really betrayed her.
Yeah. Which I can feel why she feels like that, because she's trying to, you can't really explain it. That's kind of the problems with Spider-Man. Like, you can't really explain it. That's like the whole thing with No Way Home. Like, when Doctor Strange says, hey man, you keeping your life a secret, and it's like, dude, like, everybody knows Iron Man, everybody knows Tony Stark is Iron Man, everybody knows Steve Rogers, Captain America. You kind of keeping this thing a secret, and it's going to hurt a lot of people in the process.
Although Peters probably should have called the university. I'm just saying.
He probably should have. I can do that? Oh no!
And he got kicked out.
But yeah, man, I think this. If anybody has some final thoughts, because I don't have any more. I really like this movie. I can't wait to see the third one. Because like I said, sometimes movies have a trouble time, falling, doing the landing for third movies. Spider-Man 3, Rise of Skywalker, X-Men Apocalypse. But we, we're not gonna name those. But but I really looking forward to the third one. I think that's probably gonna be my most anticipated movie of next year, probably also too, over any of the Marvel movies. I hope this is one good. I do have a prediction for that. I think the Miles Prowler isn't gonna be a bad guy. I think he's gonna help him out.
No, I think it's gonna be a big fight in the beginning, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big fight, but I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
I think him and Miles, that other Miles, is gonna be cool. I thought too, before I end this, I knew this is a kids movie, but didn't it look like with his Uncle Aaron when he punched that bag, like he just splattered, he did some invincible.
Yeah, I thought he punched.
Bro,
like, oh,
yeah,
I thought he killed Miles. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is some kind of like that was a Mortal Kombat finisher. I was like, damn.
And also to go a little bit, I don't mean to drag it out because I know Nate's not gonna like it, but maybe a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit with Red. Was he'll probably love this. But I wish I wish they dabbed into any version of Miles shouldn't be Spider-Man. I wish they would have did a little bit with that. No, not just you. Any version of you should not be Spider-Man. I think that would have. I think that would have been a better story.
Like he's the
I agree with that.
like he's the
Yeah.
only. Yeah, we know you agree with that. Yeah, like, oh, so I get what you're saying. Like he's like the only Miles as Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. Like on the only Miles. That's what I'm saying. Introduce other like another like you don't even have to introduce one Insomniac's version as Miles, and that's the one who lost his dad. You can easily tell a story between that.
Right. I agree. Yeah, man. Michael, your final thoughts?
um, very good movie. I loved it. Second favorite on the whole. Just I might have to see that movie again. I'm still trying to count out all the fucking Spider-Man I don't know. I was
Yeah.
trying to like that nigga that was shooting bullets, that cyborg, that big Hulk cyborg one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What that one
Spider
was.
Cyborg or Spider-Man
Yeah.
Cyborg?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who that one was. Shit. And we all know that if Lego Spider-Man was in that chase scene, we probably wouldn't be having a third movie. So he's one of the best.
I don't know about you guys, but I really want to see a movie with that therapist Spider-Man.
Ah.
Oh yeah. Have a,
Let me guess. Your uncle?
And then I looked at my uncle and let me guess, he
He
died.
died.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a funny scene. But also too, before I move to Red, after this point, don't. I think I've seen all the meme Spider-Man. I think I've seen enough of that. I don't want
Yeah,
to
I
see.
seen
No, we're getting one more, but
No,
there's one more I do want. I want the post end credit of the post end credit of 3 is them doing the emo dance.
Oh.
All of them in the Spider
All of 'em.
Society doing the emo Peter dance from Spider-Man 3. Come on.
Oh, okay. I want to. There's only one. There's one meme. I want to see a Spider-Man behind a desk. I want that. I think that's always funny to me. But Red, final thoughts? You could destroy this movie.
All right. Well, honestly, I found this movie kind of predictable. It was a little all over. I almost want to say it was all over the place, but it wasn't. It just took a little too long with the Spider Society right there. I still think Miguel was right. You do have to protect the canon, and Miles is probably the closest thing to an abomination as we can get here. Um, what do you call it? I think the first movie was better than this second one purely because it was more grounded, more focused. Because I just find that with the multiverse, it just there's a lot of tropes that you can fall into, which is kind of how I predicted I kind of saw it coming when they went the evil Miles version near the end of the movie. But I mean, uh, it's all right, I guess. I still give it a 6 out of 10. Uh, I'm glad they didn't bring back some of the annoying characters from the first movie, and there wasn't as many annoying characters in this one as the other one.
And he's coming in 3.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have high hopes for it, but I do hope they whittle down the universes a little bit.
For sure. Before I move on to Zeke, I'm really happy to. I know Red has some thoughts, but I'm really excited to see that team. You have Spider Gwen, Indian Spider Man,
Indian
Hobie,
Spider-Man,
Spider Ham, what's her name?
Spider-Ham. That's what
Penny
it's called.
Parker.
Penny Parker and Spider Man and Spider Man. You got the 7, and they got the band, and they're going to they're going to save our boy. So and Peter B Parker too. So that's 8. Damn.
Wait,
No, you
wasn't
forgot.
Mayday
You
with him
forgot the
too?
little girl.
Yeah, Mayday. Yeah. Oh wait, what you say, Malik?
You forgot the little girl.
Oh yeah. Mayday, who's a mutant.
If anything, though, I'm more excited for the game coming up this year.
Yeah. See, Miles is gonna be a MVP in that movie.
Man, he gonna have to fight. He gonna have to fight Peter. He got to
Yeah.
take that symbiote off.
Tired of
Yeah,
black
see?
violence. Zeke.
And you're gonna have to play as him, Red. You're gonna have to play as
I
Miles.
know. Sadly, I know.
Yeah.
I hope I can switch on demand.
I think
Man,
he
he
can
about to-
from her.
Man, we're about to be like, I gotta play as Miles. Nah, I'm about to bring Peter over here.
Let-
He about to do it. He about to do this Miles mission. Fuck you, stop.
Zeke, your final thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, no, I love this movie. Like I said, the first one is my favorite, not just Spider-Man movie, but comic book movie of all time.
Mm.
I still think I prefer the first one only because, and it's like I told Michael a little bit ago, for me the first film kind of has, I resonate with it just a little bit more. Like there's certain things that happen to Miles in that film that make me go, yeah, I've been there, you know, I've been there before, you know. This movie didn't have quite as much as that, but it still, for me, delivered on the emotions, the action, the humor. It delivered on the humor for me. Even though it's not quite as funny as the first one, it still delivered on the humor for me. I am really hoping they stick the landing because the last thing I would want to see is what they did with Avengers Endgame and give us a satisfying ending at the cost of having a plot that makes very little sense. But I will. One thing I will say about the whole multiverse aspect of this, for me, I think this movie, both of these movies, have done a really great job of explaining the multiverse better than the way Marvel has done it. And I mean, I don't mean to throw it out. But I've seen The Flash, and that movie also, I feel like doesn't really do a. The way they explain it is interesting, but it's definitely not like for me. I feel like these two movies have definitely explained it a lot better. And I like the fact that it's actually called that the Spider-Verse is actually called the canon. They don't call it a sacred timeline or anything like that. I think the fact that they call it canon is pretty cool. But final thoughts. I love this movie, and like I said, I gotta see it a couple more times, but it might end up being my second favorite comic book movie of all time. And I gave it a 10 out of 10 earlier, and I stick by that score.
For sure, man. Cool. I know. I love this movie also. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're also on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Down to Hangout FM. Also, I'm at the Tales of Fable on all social media. MJ, where can you find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Greatness Lives On, and on Twitter I want and only MJ. Wishing you guys a good night.
Sure.
And thank you for coming out for Down to Hang Out. Peace out.
Thank Malik. People find
Man,
you?
you can find me on IG Malik.Reynolds90. That's on IG Malik.Reynolds90. You can also find me on D2H Gaming. Be coming to a close, man. Jedi Survivor, man.
For sure.
Man, I hope I fight Darth Vader again. I'm gonna be honest. I hope I fight him again. I got beef with that dude because he scared me like a bitch when in that last game. So, I haven't seen enough of my guy Boyd. I hope he doesn't turn into like a villain. But yeah, man, Jedi Survivor, man. We're gonna finish that.
All right.
Red, let them know where they can find you, brother.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to this another episode. You can catch me here on Down Hangout Podcast and at D2H Gaming, where I show off a bunch of indie games and things that deserve more love. If you guys want to see anything specific, let me know. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and put comments with ideas what you want to see. Link tree in the description. Thank you guys for tuning in, and also let's show Zeke some love here too.
Zeke, yeah, where can people find you at?
Well, first of all, I gotta say thank you guys for letting me join this conversation because
Of course.
any excuse I can have to talk about this movie, I will take that opportunity. You guys can find me on Twitter at Zeke Said So and on Instagram at Zeke_said_so. And also my YouTube channel, Zeke Said So Pictures, and the podcast, Zeke Said So Podcast.
Sure. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night, good day, or wherever time you're watching it. And remember, everybody, hugs, not drugs, and stay frosty.